of majority party to table the business of the county assembly for the next sitting week.
Papers. Papers, yeah. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So, Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Assembly today, Wednesday, 1st November 2023 at 2:30 p.m. The business of the County Assembly for the next sitting week. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chairperson Committee on County Public Investment Accounts Committee.
Thank you, Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Assembly today, Wednesday, 1st November 2023 at 2:30 p.m. The report of the Public Investment Accounts Committee on the consideration of the reports of Auditor General on Makueni County Executive State and Public Officers Loan and Mortgage Fund for the years ended 30th June 2020, 30th June 2021, and 30th June 2022.
Chairperson Committee on Devolution, Public Participation, County Administration and Special Programs.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I kindly request that we table the report in the next sitting. We have not adopted the report.
When is the next sitting?
Maybe next week. I don't know.
Sir, thank you. Chairperson Committee on Budget and Appropriation Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Assembly today, Wednesday, 1st November 2023 at 2:30 p.m. The report of Budget and Appropriation Committee on financial year 2022-2023 budget implementation status. I lay.
Chairperson Committee on Environment and Climate Change. Chair, Vice Chair, I'm all the chair.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the following paper on today, Wednesday, 1st November 2023 at 2:30 p.m. The report of the Committee on Environment and Climate Change on the vetting of the nominees for appointment as members of the Climate Change Steering Committee. I lay.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Chairperson Committee, Chairperson County Public Investment and Accounts Committee to give a notice of motion.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion that this Assembly adopts the report of the County Public Investments and Accounts Committee on the consideration of reports of Auditor General on the Makueni County Executive State and Public Officers Loan and Mortgage Fund for the years ended 30th June 2020, 30th June 2021, and 30th June 2022, laid on the table of the Assembly on 1st November 2023.
Chairperson, Budget and Appropriation Committee, to give a notice of motion.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to give notice of the following motion. This Assembly adopts the report of Budget and Appropriation Committee on the financial year 2022-2023 budget implementation status laid on the table of the Assembly on that 1st October 2023. 1st October 2023, idly.
Chairperson, Committee on Environment and Climate Change.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that this Assembly adopts the report of the Committee on Environment and Climate Change on the vetting of the nominees for appointment as members of the Climate Change Steering Committee, laid on the table of the Assembly on 1st October 2023.
First. Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Leader of Majority Party.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, pursuant to the provisions of standing orders 47, sabbatical 2A, and 55 of the County Assembly standing orders, I rise to give a statement on the business of the County Assembly for the next sitting week. Mr. Speaker, the following business has been tentatively scheduled to be transacted by the County Assembly in the next sitting week. Monday, 13th November 2023, under papers and notices, we are tabling on the report of the Committee on Health Services on the statement regarding the construction of an isolation ward at the Mboni Sub-County Hospital in Mboni Ward, and a notice of motion shall as well be given. Then we will have a tabling of the report of the Budget and Appropriations Committee on the Makueni County 2024-2025 Annual Development Plan. A notice of motion as well will be given. Then under statements, Mr. Speaker, we will have a response to the statement regarding the operations of the Makueni County Public Service Board, as was requested by the member for Tulimani Ward. And then secondly, we'll have a response to the statement regarding the provision of inpatient services at the Chambeke Health Center in Ilima Ward, as was requested by the member for Ilima Ward. Mr. Speaker, under motions, we'll have a motion for the adoption of the report of the Budget and Appropriations Committee on the financial year 2022-2023, first 9 months, Makueni County Budget Implementation Review Report. Then we'll also have a motion for the adoption of the report of on the consideration of the financial year 2023-2024 Department Work Plan of the Finance, Planning, Revenue, and Budget Department. So, Speaker, on 14th November 2023, during the morning plenary, Mr. Speaker, I'll have papers and notices. And the first one will be tabling of the report of the Budget and Appropriations Committee on the financial year 2023-2024, Makueni County Government, that is Executive and Assembly, supplementary budget estimates, and a notice of motion shall as well be given. So, Speaker, under motions, we'll have the motion for the adoption of the report of the Committee on Gender, Children, Youth, Sports, and Social Services on the consideration of the financial year 23-24 Department Work Plan of the Gender, Children, Youth, Sports, and Social Services Department. Then, secondly, we'll have a motion for the adoption of the report of the Committee on Health Services on the statement regarding the construction of an isolation ward at the Mboni Sub-County Hospital in Mboni Ward. Afternoon plenary, Mr. Speaker, will have statements, and the first one will be response to the statement regarding the transfer of functions to Water and the Mali Sultanahmud Municipality. under motions, we'll have a motion for the adoption of the report of the Budget and Appropriations Committee on the Makueni County 2024-2025 Annual Development Plan. Then on Wednesday, 15th November 2023, Mr. Speaker, we'll have papers and notices. The first paper to be tabled is the report of the Budget and Appropriations Committee on the consideration of the financial year 23-24 first quarter budget implementation report, and a notice of motion shall as well be given. Mr. Speaker, under motions, we'll have a motion for the adoption of the report of the Budget and Appropriations Committee on the financial year 23-24 Makueni County Government, that is Executive and Assembly, supplementary budget estimates. So, Speaker, sir, there shall be a meeting of the Assembly Business Committee on Monday, 13th November 2023 at 9 a.m. and pursuant to the decisions of that meeting, additional business may be scheduled to be transacted by the County Assembly during that week. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Cosmas Kaleli, MCA for Mali, to request for a statement.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Article 195(3) of Constitution of Kenya 2010, Section 939(2) of the County Government Act 2012, revised 2020, and Standing Order 50 of Makueni County Assembly Standing Orders, I rise to request for a statement from the Chairperson's Committee on Lands, Urban Planning, and Development regarding the establishment of the County Physical and Land Use Planning Consultative Forum and the County Physical and Land Use Planning Liaison Committee. Honorable Speaker, the Section 14 of the Physical and Land Use Plan Act 2019 establishes a County Physical Land and Use Planning Consultative Forum in each county, whose mandate is to provide a forum for consultations in the county and inter-county physical and land use development plans, and promote effective coordination and integration of physical and land use development and sector planning amongst other functions. Honorable Speaker, Section 76 and 8 of the Physical and Land Use Planning Act 2019 establishes a County Physical and Land Use Planning Liaison Committee for each county, whose functions shall be A, to hear and determine complaints and claims made in respect to applications submitted to the planning authority in the county. 2, or B, hear appeals against a decision made by planning authority within respective physical and land use development plans in the county. C, advise the county executive committee member on board physical and land use planning policies, strategies, and standards. And D, hear appeals with respect to the enforcement notice. The Speaker, sir, the chairperson should therefore clarify on the following: whether the County Physical and Land Use Planning Consultative Forum and the County Physical and Land Use Planning Liaison Committee have been constituted and names of the members gazetted. 2, if yes, provide copies of the Gazette notice constituting the consulting forum and the liaison committees. And C, if yes, what measures has the department taken to ensure? If no, what measures are the department taken to ensure compliance with the Physical and Land Use Planning Act 2019? Honorable Speaker, this is a concern because you realize when we are doing physical development plans for various urban centers, many among them Emali, Sultan, there were a lot of disputes raised, and which those disputes could be handled by those committees. So it is an urgent matter because the response from those disputes or the resolutions meant are eagerly awaited by our traders, our landowners, and therefore it is wise to establish whether we have the committee so that at least we can get some clarity about those land matters in our towns or urban centers. Thank you.
Chairperson, Committee on Lands, Urban Planning and Development.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is a very good statement. And Mr. Speaker, we we will respond within 14 days.
Request of the statement?
If the chair is truly aware that we will have a comprehensive response on then, Honorable Speaker, that is quite in order. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Cosmas Kaleli to request for a statement to the chairperson, Committee on Environment and Climate Change.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Article 185(3) of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, Section 39 of the County Government Act 2012, now revised 2020, and Standing Order 50 of the Makueni County Assembly Standing Holders, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson, Committee on Environment and Climate Change regarding the constitution of the County Environment Committee. Mr. Speaker, Section 29 of the Environmental Management and Coordination Act 1919, revised 2015, provides that 1. The governor shall, by a notice in a gazette, constitute a county environment committee in the county. 2. Every county environment committee shall consist of a member of the county executive committee in charge of environment matters, who shall be the chairperson. B. An officer of the authority, that is NEMA, whose area of jurisdiction fall wholly or partly within the county, whose shall be the secretary to the county environmental committee. C. And one representative of each of the ministries responsible for matters specific on the first schedule of the county level. D. 2 representatives of the farmers or pastoralists within the county to be appointed by the governor. E. 2 representatives of the business community operating within the concerned county appointed by the governor. F. 2 representatives of the public benefits organization engaged in the environmental management programs within the county appointed by the governor in consultation with the National Federation of Public Benefits Organizations. And G, a representative of every regional development authority whose area of jurisdiction falls wholly or partly within the county. Mr. Speaker, the County Environment Committee shall be responsible for proper management of the environment within the county and develop a county strategic environmental action plan every 5 years, amongst other functions. Honorable Speaker, the chairperson should therefore clarify on the following: whether Makueni County Environmental Committee has been constituted as required under Section 29 of the Environmental Management and Coordination Act 1919 whole 2015. That is revised. B, if yes, provide a copy of the Gazette notice constituting the committee. C, whether the county has in place environmental action plan as required under Section 40 of the Environmental Management and Coordination Act 1999, that is revised 2018. D, if yes, provide a copy of the county environment action plan. And E, if no, what action the department has taken to have the action plan in place and by when, and give commitments. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chairperson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I have heard my honorable member, a friend, and a brother from the other mother, Mali. I think that's a very articulative kind of statement, and I believe we can furnish him with all the facts within the next 14 days, because what he's asking is not out of the blues, something which can be found within our files if it ever happened. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Request of the statement?
Yes, Honorable Speaker, it's a yes or no matter, so it doesn't require a lot of time. Hopefully 7 days would have worked better. You will stand to guide us. So I don't see what is required to be done within 14 days. So Honorable Speaker, guide us, because these are yes, whether we have the committee, copies of the Gazette notice, action plan in place, whether no or yes. This does not require a lot of time, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Because of the correspondence between the assembly and the executive, it's good also for the ECM to be given some good time to respond. Thank you. 14 days are fine.
We are not going to be in session. So the honorable member, I believe he knows the calendar of events and the way they are trending within the course of the preceding times. So it's not a big issue of argument because he's aware. He's trying to force what is not going to be possible to be attained. But 14 days, good to go.
Thank you, Chairperson. Honorable Boniface Mateso, MCA for Water, Z Ward.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to request this statement on behalf of the member for Watensiu. Pursuant to the provisions of Article 185(3) of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, Section 392 of the County Governments Act 2012, revised 2020, and Standing Order Number 50 of Makueni County Assembly Standing Orders, I rise to request for a statement from the Chairperson, Committee on Water and Sanitation, regarding the operations of Kaduma Water Project and various boreholes in Watensiu Ward. Honorable Speaker, Kaduma Water Project is among the highly financed water projects in Watensiu Ward, having received over 25 million across the financial years 2016-2017 to 2022-2023. And there were high expectations on the project impacting the community since the borehole has a very high water yield. The operations of the water project have been a success since its installation until at the beginning of the year 2023, when it is alleged that some illegal individuals have established illegal connections to the water project pipeline, hence diverting the water for agricultural use and cutting off the water supply to the 10 designated community water points. The project is no longer of help to the community as was planned. Honorable Speaker, in the financial years 2014-2015, 2015-2016, and 2016-2017, the following 3 boreholes were also allocated money and drilled by the county government. 1, Nziu borehole. 2, Ndangu Kwa Chenge borehole. 3, Ndangu Kwa Chenze borehole. And 4, Makolongo borehole. Honorable Speaker, these boreholes were functional but are currently broken down, where the Nziu borehole broke down in 2018, Ndangu Kwa Chenge borehole broke down in 2016, Ndangu Kwa Chenze borehole broke down in 2019, while the Makolongo borehole broke down in March 2023. Honorable Speaker, since the boreholes broke down, the concerned department has not taken any action to repair the boreholes, something that has led to serious water challenges in the affected areas since the residents depended on the boreholes for their daily water needs. Honorable Speaker, the chairperson should therefore clarify on the following. On Kaduma Water Project, 1, whether the department is aware that the water project has had problems since the beginning of the year 2023, including the said illegal connections. B, if yes, what actions has the department taken to ensure reliable supply of water to the following community water points? 1, Kaduma Mathioi Primary School, Mathioi Secondary School, Chenze, Jericho, Nziu CTTI, and Nziu Market and Kideini 1 and 2. C, provide a list of all individual connections since the installation of the project and the duplicate receipts showing the amounts paid as connection fees for each such individual connections, and the billing reports showing the monthly payments of water bills. D, provide the ration water report for both the individual connections and the community water points for the last 5 months, that's June to October 2023, and account for all the water released from the master meter during that period. E, the mode of payment by clients and give an account of how much has been collected by the Sustainability Committee since the installation of the project. And this should show all books of account and statements together with all the bank accounts showing the last amount, the last account transactions, and the account balance is at 31st October 2023. F, whether the borehole has experienced breakdowns since its installation and the cost of repairs of such breakdowns, and what has been the source of the funds to cater for those repairs. And G, what plans does the department have in place to ensure the restoration of water supply to the 10 designated community water points, including the provision of power backup to supplement the solar system? On the other boreholes, the chairperson should clarify the following. A, whether the department is aware that the aforementioned boreholes have not been functional, some dating back 2016. B, if yes, why has the department not taken action towards repairing the boreholes? C, provide a report of the current status of each borehole, clearly showing what component is broken down and how each borehole could require to be repaired, as well as the expected use of each borehole. D, who used to manage the operations of the boreholes when they were in use? And E, provide the list of the names of the sustainability committees for the boreholes which were in place during the operational periods of the boreholes. F, provide the financial reports of each borehole showing how much money was collected monthly by each borehole and how much such monies were spent. And G, what plans does the department have in place to ensure that the boreholes are repaired back to functionality to serve the community as was planned? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chair, Committee on Water. The Vice Chair. Any member of the committee to do an undertaking to respond to the statement? Member of the committee? Honorable Dennis, are you a member of the committee?
Honorable Speaker, I'm not a member of that committee, but once we deliberated at last of the committee, and we gave them a day to go and visit Gikome Bwaho. That was their satisfaction, and they left the house and the assembly. Thank you.
What is it, Honorable? No. Any member of the committee? Committee on Water? The statement is deferred until we will have a member of the committee to give an undertaking on when they will respond. Honorable Francis Mutuku to request for a statement. What's the point of order? Oh.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to request a statement on behalf of Francis Mutuko, who was once my teacher. Mr. Speaker, pursuant to the provision Article 185.3 of the Constitution of Kenya, 2010, Section 39.2 of County Government Act 2012, revised 2020, the Standing Order 50 of the Makueni County Assembly, Standing Order, I raise to request a statement from the chairperson, Committee on Devolution, Public Participation, County Administration, and Special Programs regarding the operation of Makueni County Public Service Board during recruits. Mr. Speaker, sir, Section 57 and 59 of County Government Act 2012, revised 2020, provides that there is a county public service board in each county whose function of shall be on behalf of the county government to establish and abolish offices in county public services, appoints person to hold or act in office of the county public services, including the board of cities and urban areas within the county, and to confirm appointments. Promotes in county public service board the values and principles referred to Article 10 of and 232 among other functions. Section 59, 4H of the of the Act provides that the performance of its function mentioned above, the county public service board shall have powers to cooperate with other institutions working in the field of good governance in the public service. Mr. Speaker, sir, in performing the two mentioned functions, the county public service board interviews for recruits candidates in various technical fields, including medicine, engineering, law, finance and accounting, procurement, nutrition, and dietetics, among others. This, therefore, would call for understanding of members of the county public service board in these various technical fields, something which is practically impossible. Mr. Speaker, sir, as such, this therefore calls upon the county public service board to, during the interviews of the candidates from these technical fields, elicit the support of technical officers from those various fields in order to make the interviews intensive, facts, and issues based on meaningful, in order to ensure that the candidates eventually recruited are suitable and have a proper understanding of the technical field to which they recruited. Mr. Speaker, sir, the chairperson should therefore clarify on the following: whether the county public service board has been co-opting the services of technical officers to professionals from the relevant field during the various recruitment process. B, if yes, provide evidence for the same in the recent conducted recruitment activities. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The chairperson, Committee on Devolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have heard the request of the statement, and I kindly request you give us 7 days and you give a response on that.
Request of the statement. Are you comfortable with the number of days given?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, we are comfortable if 7 days is enough for him to provide the proof for the same. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable members, on standing order number 51, when a request is meant to a committee, the chairperson of the committee or the vice chairperson, or that is 51A, the chairperson, or in the absence of any other member of the committee, shall acknowledge the request and may indicate a time when the response may be availed to the committee. Because we have realized Honorable Kali was in the house, so he can proceed and give an attacking. Please. What's the point of order? Which order number?
I wonder whether the Honorable Kali, member of the Committee on Water, is in order to just stay put when the chair is calling on a member of the committee. And he knows he's a member of the committee. And after we have jumped out of that, and the speaker has made a ruling, it is a speaker who sees that the member is there. So I don't know whether it's in order for the member to be told that he's a member of the committee, or the member is in order to slumber when business for the committee is being transacted.
Honorable Jonathan Kimongo, you are totally out of order. The honorable member proceeded to the speaker's table and made a request, because we had deferred the matter. But Honorable Kali proceed and give an undertaking to Honorable Mateso when you respond to the statement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I appreciate for that opportunity, Mr. Speaker. When the request of the statement started giving out the statement, I had just walked in, and when I was preparing to handle a few things here, and then that was when you called for that. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, having meant that, I've heard what the request of the statement that is member from Watenzio about the boreholes, and as per the statement, that is a very critical statement, which is very important. It touches the community and the welfare of the members in the community, and therefore, 14 days, Mr. Speaker, I see them enough for this committee to look at those issues and also give a response on the floor of this House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Requester of the statement.
Honorable Speaker, I have no problem with the 14 days, but we will not entertain anything like request for more time. Let us get a comprehensive response.
I think you are properly briefed. The Chairperson, Committee on Agriculture, Irrigation, Livestock and Fisheries, to present a response to the statement number 28 as requested by member for Care Ward. What is it, Honorable Jonathan Mudoka? So that we can defer to the next sitting. What is it, Honorable Fiametta?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I was standing as a Vice Chair for Agriculture to just say exactly what the member of Ilima said. Yeah, thank you.
Next order.
Order number 8, motion. The report of the Committee on Water and Sanitation on the consideration of the financial year 2023-2024 Departmental Work Plan of the Water and Sanitation Department.
Chairperson, to move the motion.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move the following motion that this Assembly adopts the report of the Committee on Water and Sanitation on the consideration of the financial year 2023-2024 Departmental Work Plan for the Water and Sanitation Department, laid on the table at the Assembly on 2nd October 2023. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to take members through this work plan. And if you allow, Mr. Speaker, I will not tackle on the issues of introduction, but I'll just go straight to the executive summary. If you allow, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, standing order number 217, part 5B and D, stationed, is bestowed with the spirit of studying the programs and the policy objectives of the department and the effectiveness of the implementation. Studying, assessing, and analyzing the relative success of the department as measured by the results obtained as compared with the stated objectives, and investigating as well as inquiring into all matters relating to assigned departments as they may deem necessary, and as may be referred to them by the County Assembly. During the 65th sitting of the County Assembly held on Monday, 28 August 2023, the departmental work plans from the various county departments were tabled and committed to the sectoral committees to study, analyze, prepare committee's work plan, and report to the Assembly within 14 days. The Committee on Water and Sanitation considered the departmental work plan and developed its work plan. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, when the committee sat down, made the following observations and findings. Mr. Speaker, sir, upon scrutiny and consideration of the departmental work plan, the committee made the following observations. Number one, the financial year 2023-2024 departmental work plan was based on the approved budget and the annual development plan for the same year. Number two, to increase access and availability to water, the department is in the process of conducting feasibility study of Adi Tunguni Water Project, feasibility study for 1 mega water supply project at Muoni, and the drilling as well as equipping of that boreholes. Number three, to reduce distance to water points and also promote rainwater harvesting and storage, the department in the process of implementing 55 pipelines extensions, constructions, as well as rehabilitation of 23 other dams, and also conduct that sensitization forums on household rainwater harvesting. Number four, to improve water governance mechanisms, the department is in the process of recruiting 3 board directors for Bonwasco and the replacement of 1 board director for Wawasco. The department intends to maintain the county water systems inventory. Number 5, implementation of water legal frameworks. So the department plans to fully review, gazette, and publish the Makueni County Water Act 2020, develop Makueni County Water Services Strategy Plan, finalize the Makueni County Water Fund regulations and its operations, and also conducting that stakeholders sensitization forums on the legal frameworks. Number 6, to enhance environmental protection, the department is looking at the issues of conservation and management, whereby the department is in the process of constructing 4 check dams, or else the Gambians, and as well as conducting that sensitization community groups on protections of water towers, as well as fencing the other dams. Number 7, to improve environmental sustainability, the department commits to sensitize beneficiaries, that is communities, on grassing or else planting the grass cover on the embankments of the dams for all the newly constructed earth dams. Number 8, to enhance automation in water sector, the department plans to maintain and update Makueni count wash inventory systems to ensure that those records are very clear and also in the systems. The last one, that is number 9, the department will enhance youth empowerment initiatives by ensuring there is youth representation in the project management committees, that is the PMCs, when implementing water projects, and also identification of 6 passionate youth and involve them in water matters. And that is to deal with the issues of management and also the advocacy. The committee's general recommendations, Mr. Speaker, the committee recommends that all the projects should be implemented within the financial budgetary year for which they are budgeted. Number 2, the Department of Water and Sanitation should finalize on the review of the Makueni County Water Act 2020 for submission to the County Assembly for approval before the end of financial year 2023-2024. Number 3, Mr. Speaker, the department should finalize the Makueni County Water Fund regulation and the Makueni County Water Service Strategy Plan for submission to the County Assembly for approval before the end of the financial year 2023-2024. Number 4, the accounting officer should strictly adhere to the provisional sections of 153 Part 1 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, which states that the accounting officer or county government entity is responsible for the management of the entity's assets and liabilities and shall manage those assets in such a way to ensure that the county government entity achieves value for money in acquiring, using, and disposal of those assets. The last one, number 5, is part of the observations, Mr. Speaker. During monitoring and evaluation of the project or the county departmental work plan, the end of the county treasury should strictly adhere to the provisions of Section 166 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 on preparation and submission of quarterly reports for the county government entity to the County Assembly. Mr. Speaker, having those observations, we acknowledge that, Mr. Speaker, as part of the acknowledgement, Mr. Speaker, I take this opportunity to thank the committee members for their input and valuable contributions during the deliberations of this report. The committee also takes this opportunity to thank the Office of the Speaker and the Office of the Clerk for the support accorded during the consideration of this report. Mr. Speaker, sir, on behalf of the committee, I hereby present the committee's report on consideration of the financial year 2023-2024 Departmental Work Plan to the County Assembly for consideration and adoption. Mr. Speaker, out of that departmental work plan, then the committee, when set down, also generated a committee's work plan so as to reflect the departmental work plan. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, in the financial year 2023-2024, as per the commitment of the department, then the committee will play a role in terms of oversight to ensure that the projects that have been mentioned in the budget as per the work plan, they are implemented, and those projects will benefit the community. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Having read that, I request Mheshimiwa Mbitini to second. Water.
Honorable Magdalene Kameneng, you can proceed and second. Thank you. I now propose the question that this assembly adopt the report of the Committee on Water, Sanitation on the consideration of the financial year 2023-2024 Departmental Work Plan of the Water and Sanitation Department laid on the table of the Assembly on 2nd October 2023. The floor is now open. Honorable Cosmas.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to oppose the adoption of the motion by this Honorable House based on the various reasons. One, I have keenly listened to the chair while taking us through the work plan. I have heard about commitment about the water governance issues concerning water across several areas in the county. To be precise, Kimwasco, Boniwasco. But Honorable Speaker, I have not heard the chair mention any plans towards the water governance issues affecting Noltresh Water Company. The water company that should supply water to Emali or entirely to the Emali Sultan municipality. Bearing in mind there are a lot of challenges concerning water issues in the said areas, Honorable Speaker, I expected in the plan, the department could have captured matters rising from the challenges raised by Noltresh Water Company. Honorable Speaker, I haven't heard, and just before I move out of that, Honorable Speaker, I have a statement that which I should have been responded to this in this Honorable House 7 months down the line. That has not been responded, which concerns the mismanagement of water resource in Emali by the corrupt water committee. So in the work plan, I haven't heard any mentioning about that issue. Honorable Speaker, I didn't hear the chair react or give commitment on the corruption matters within the water across the county. And to be precise, the corruption between some of our officers and the Tana Health water service providers. Honorable Speaker, a lot of evidence has been brought here. A lot of complaints has been raised here concerning squandering or misuse of public resources by Tana Health officers, maybe, or the Tana Health water service providers. Specifically, we have one in Emali that which consumed over 66 million, which is not helping our people. We have another project in Matiku, in my ward also. We have Kamunyolo, which has a lot of serious corruption issues. So in the work plan, there is no commitment on how to deal with the corruption, including the corrupt officers who could have been involved in those corruption exercises. Honorable Speaker, we have seen some certificates being raised by the water docket, specifically the water engineers, of shoddily done jobs. We've not had commitment by that chair.
Based on that, Honorable Speaker, I stand to oppose the adoption of this motion till when they put into consideration those matters and more specific about what we have allocated about the implementation, because we have heard about the implementation of our budget on the water docket. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, I stand to oppose and request this Honorable House their support on opposing this motion. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Mateso.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I stand to support the motion. However, Mr. Speaker, I've had the report mention about getting managing director for OWASCO. For many years, Mr. Speaker, the OWASCO company has been aided by seconded people who are not professional and do not understand the affairs of managing a water company. Honorable Speaker, what I did not hear, like now, the acting managing director of the company was actually sacked or was deployed back to do other works. So I didn't hear from the committee mention on when they are supposed to get another managing director, Honorable Speaker. So that should have been very important because we do not have one. And this being the service provider for water in Watertown, this need to be acted within the shortest time possible. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mover of the motion to reply.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, having gone through the departmental worker plan, Mr. Speaker, because the content is very big, but out of screening what has been put as per the content, Mr. Speaker, part of the observation, number 5, is that we have a legal framework, and therefore, Mr. Speaker, the department is looking forward for the implementation of the water legal frameworks, and for it not to function effectively, then it goes ahead and say that there is need to review. Mr. Speaker, when you talk about review, it means that the gaps that have been there, the existing gaps in terms of management, whether the corruption is there, when we have a review and then gazette as well as publish, then it means that those gaps are minimized or else they are tackled. And therefore, because we know in most of the projects that concerns water, Mr. Speaker, there is a lot of mismanagement of the projects. And if that act is reviewed, then I understand the issues around that will be tackled, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, I request members of this Honorable House to support this and give it a big yes. So thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I now put the question that this Assembly adopt the report of the Committee on Water and Sanitation on the consideration of the financial year 2023-2024 Department Work Plan of the Water and Sanitation Department laid on the table of the Assembly on 2nd October 2023. Will as many of these opinions say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? Nay. The ayes have it. The report to be forwarded to ECM Water and Sanitation for action. Thank you. Next order.
Order number 9, procedural motion, waiving of notice period.
Leader of Majority Party to move the motion of adjournment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to... Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move the following motion, which is that this assembly... Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move the following motion, which is that, notwithstanding the provisions of Standing Order 60, Sabbatical 5B, this assembly resolves to waive the notice period on the motion for adoption of the report on the Committee on Environment, Climate Change, on the vetting of the nominees for appointments as members of the Climate Change Steering Committee, appearing on the order paper under order number 11. Mr. Speaker, we realized that our time is not on our side, about to go for recess, and this is a little bit urgent. That's why we are putting it across to members to consider, so that actually we can adopt this and move on. Mr. Speaker, I call upon the member for Alawa to second this motion. Thank you.
Thank you. I now propose the question that, notwithstanding the provision of the order number 60, section 5B, this assembly resolved to waive the notice period on the motion of adoption of the report of the Committee on Environment and Climate Change on the vetting of the nominees for appointment as members of the Climate Change Steering Committee, appearing on the order paper under order number 11. The floor is now open. Mover.
I'm grateful to the members. I beg them to support the motion. Thank you.
I now put the question that, notwithstanding the provision of an order number 60, section 5B, this assembly resolved to waive the notice period on the motion for adoption of the report of the Committee on Environment and Climate Change on the vetting of the nominees for appointment as members of the Climate Change Steering Committee, appearing on the order paper under order number 11. Will as many of these opinions say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 10, motion. The report of the Committee on Environment and Climate Change on the vetting of the nominees for appointment as members of the Climate Change Steering Committee.
Chairperson.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move the following motion, that this assembly adopts the report of the Committee on Environment and Climate Change on the vetting of the nominees for appointment as members of the Climate Change Steering Committee, laid on the table of the Assembly on 1st November 2023. Mr. Speaker, sir, if you look at the volume of the document which I have here, I believe you'll just allow me to go to the executive summary, because if I'm to read everything here, it's going to take us the whole day. So I'll go to the executive summary for the sake of the House. Mr. Speaker, sir, during the 57th sitting of the County Assembly held on 24th July 2023, the names of the nominees to the County Climate Change Steering Committee were tabled and subsequently committed to the Committee on Environment and Climate Change to vet pursuant to provisions of Makueni County Assembly Standing Orders 217, Sabbatical 5F, and the report on suitability of the nominees for appointment as members of the said committees pursuant to the provisions of Sections 5, Part 1 and 2 of the Makueni County Climate Change Act 2022. The names and the categories of the nominees are as shown in the table below. And I read the table where we have the name, gender, and position or representation. Name number 1 was Frida Mweni Mutili, who is a female, chosen under women representative. Yosia M. Wambua, a male representative of people living with a disability. Peter Mani Mwangangi, male representative of youth. Josephat Mwania Kisuna, male representative of public benefit organization. John Musili, male representative of private sector. Anna Mutindi Muia, female representative of professional bodies. Benjamin Mutinda Mutua, male representative of the development partners. And then there is here Ngonze, a female representative of the planning committee. Mr. Speaker, sir, upon committal of the nominees to the committee, the climate committee on the climate, the committee held 1 preparation sitting, 6 vetting sittings, and 6 report writings sittings in preparation of this report. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Assembly placed an advert in the Daily Nation newspaper dated Thursday, July 27, 2023, notifying the candidates and the public of the vetting exercise and invited submissions from the members of the public in support of or against the nominees. By the time of vetting, the nominees, the committee had not received any memorandum from the public or any complaint. The committee further did an advertisement on 28 September 2023 and invited the other 2 nominees who had been omitted in the first list. That is Mr. Resia Ngonze, representing the County Climate Change Planning Committee, and Mr. Benjamin Mutua, representing development partners categories respectively. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee requested for submission of clearance status of the nominees from the following institutions for vetting exercises and found out that all nominees are declared with the following offices. Office number 1, the Ethics and Corruption Commission, EACC, the Kenya Revenue Authority, KRA, Directorate of Criminal Investigation, DCI, Higher Education Loans Board, HELB, Credit Reference Bureau, CRB. Further, the nominees were requested to submit the following: identification documents, curriculum vitae, academic and professional certificates, membership to the professional bodies or sectors they represent, that is public benefit organization and professional bodies. The findings. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee, having considered the nominees' curriculum vitae and conducted the vetting exercise, it made the following observations. Mr. Yosia M. Wambua, Mr. Josephat Mwania Kisuna, Benjamin Mutinda Mutua, and Ms. Ann Mutindi Muia were qualified for the nomination and were duly nominated by the representative umbrella organizations to the Makueni County Climate Change Steering Committee as required by the provisions of Section 7, Part 2 of the Makueni County Climate Change Act 2022. 2, that Ms. Frida Mweni Mutili and Ms. Theresia Kamande Ngonze did not demonstrate to have any knowledge, expertise, and experience on matters of climate change, natural resources management, or environmental conservation, and neither did they demonstrate any substantive involvement in climate change matters as required by the provisions of Section 7, Part 3 of the Makueni County Climate Change Act. That Mr. John, number 3, that Mr. John Musili and Peter Mwangangi Mani were already nominated in the County Climate Change Planning Committee and could not serve as members of the County Climate Steering Committee at the same time, since the Makueni County Climate Act 2022, Section 7, Part 2, provides for only one member appointed from the County Steering Committee. See attached, there's a bit of attachments there. Recommendations. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee, having considered the names, the nominees' curriculum vitae, and having added their submissions during the vetting exercise, hereby recommends as follows: that this assembly approves the nomination of Mr. Josia Wambua, Mr. Josephat Mwania Kisuna, Ms. Ann Mutindi Muia and Benjamin Mutinda Mutua for appointment to the Makueni County Climate Change Steering Committee. 2, that this assembly rejects the nomination of Ms. Frida Mueni Mutili, Mr. Peter Mwangangi Mani, Mr. John Musiri, and Ms. Theresia Kamande Ngonze to the Makueni County Climate Change Steering Committee. Part 3, that His Excellency the Governor, the appointing authority, resubmits to the Assembly the names of 4 nominees representing the private sector, Youth Planning Committee, and the Women to County Climate Change Steering Committee within 30 days after adoption of this report for consideration by the County Assembly to ensure that the committee becomes operational. 4, this Assembly adopts the report of the Committee on Environment and Climate Change on the vetting of the nominees of the County Climate Change Steering Committee. Acknowledgement. Mr. Speaker, sir, I take this opportunity to thank the members of the committee for their input and the invaluable contributions during the deliberations of the vetting of the Makueni County Climate Change Steering Committee. The committee also takes this opportunity to thank the Office of Speaker and the Clerk for the technical support accorded to it during the exercise. Mr. Speaker, sir, on behalf of the Sectoral Committee on Environment and Climate Change, it is my pleasure and duty to present to the County Assembly the committee's report on the vetting of the nominees for appointment of the County Climate Change Steering Committee for consideration and adoption. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, if I may observe a few reservations on this. As a committee, we were faced with one of the most tedious exercises while compiling this report. This is because we had to strike a balance versus the expectations and functionality of this committee versus the experience as well as political involvement of the members. And looking at all this, we decided to go the legal way, and we narrowed ourselves to the bill on what it required, as well as the expectations and the objectives of this particular committee. That resulted to us rejecting anybody who seemed not to be able to function fully in this particular committee, and as well approving those who had cut across as per the objectives and as per the expectations of the bill. So in this context, we are saying we would rather have a better college of people as opposed to just passing across anybody for the sake of passing. In this context, I call upon the whip, the majority whip, to second the motion.
I now propose the question that this assembly adopt the report of the Committee on Environment and Climate Change on the vetting of the nominees for the appointment as members of the Climate Change Steering Committee laid on the table of the Assembly on 31st October 2023. The floor is now open. Mover of the motion to reply.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I will take this opportunity to thank the members for that good accolades which they have given to us, that they are certified by, our deliberations. We look forward to urging them to support the motion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
I now put the question that this assembly adopt the report of the Committee on Environment and Climate Change on the vetting of the nominees for appointment as members of the Climate Change Steering Committee laid on table of the Assembly on 31st October 2023. Will as many of these opinions say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order. This report should be forwarded to the committee, the executive committee member, Lands, Urban Planning and Development for action. Next order.
Order number 11, motion. Adjournment motion in accordance with the County Assembly calendar, regular sessions of 2023.
Leader of majority.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Speaker, sir, I beg to move the following motion, which is that pursuant to standing order, that one Article 3, this Assembly adjourns from today, Wednesday, 1st November 2023, until Monday, 13th November 2023, in accordance with the County Assembly calendar, that is the regular sessions 2023. Mr. Speaker, as I put it, it is clear that we are following our calendar, and from today we are supposed to adjourn and go for a recess of about 7 days to come back here on 13th of November, Mr. Speaker, and without adding a lot of other things, members need to go and refresh, come back energized, so that we can transact a lot of business which is still ahead of us. We have the supplementary budget, among other things. So, Mr. Speaker, I urge the member for Kalawa to second. Thank you.
Thank you. I now propose the question that, pursuant to Standing Order number 31, Section 3, this Assembly adjourns from today, that's Wednesday, 1st November 2023, until Monday, 13th November 2023, in accordance with the County Assembly calendar, that is regular sections 2023. The floor is now open.
I might oppose. Mr. Speaker, sir, I think this is a very good move because it's long overdue that members are tired, and at some point, too much work. Yes, too much work makes Jack a dull boy. So everybody would wish to rest and get energized and also have some social balance. So in this context, I believe it is actually timely for this motion, and that's why I support it. So I urge members also to support it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Kaleli.
Honorable Speaker, I rise to support the motion, not because we are tired, of course, but because of the spirit. We want to have time to most importantly, analyze the Olongalu part, and that informs us getting to projects and especially on this matter of the supplementary budget, we need to have some consultations between us and the other arm, and also the people, because we must get the authority from the people to make amendment on the money bill. So I am in support that we go and consider those matters. That's why we should allot some time for that activity, and I support the motion. Thank you.
Another member?
Mr. Speaker, I greatly thank the members for the support of the motion, and again indicate that this will be a working recess. We're going to relax a bit. We're going to consider the supplementary budget, among other things, of course, Mr. Speaker. And members, be ready, because in a few days' time, we'll be somewhere relaxing, thinking about the supplementary budget. Yeah, so we are very, very grateful for this. And Mr. Speaker,
For the first time, let me congratulate the members because as you can see, we are almost full house after some grueling weeks. Recently, we were just talking here actually very bitterly because we were saying we're wasting our fuel coming here. But you can see members are very steady. They've really come. I just congratulate the whips. They are doing a great job and let them just continue like that. Thank you so much.
Honorable members, the time now being 16:05 hours. This assembly stands adjourned until Monday, the 13th November 2023 at 2:30 p.m.